Hello from Iceland. It's been an epic trip for me and my wife, and today actually is our 15th wedding anniversary, so you can wish us all the best in the comments. And since we're staying in this beautiful panoramic glass lodge, that's actually the name, Panorama Glass Lodge, you can check it out. The link is in the description. I thought it's gonna be a great place to play around with my Sony RX1R Mark II and a Godox Lux Junior flash with the intention to take these kind of retro looking direct flash photos. And I'm gonna edit this with my free preset that you can actually download. The link is in the description. That is like super retro in terms of the vibe and the general look of the image. And now let's freaking shoot. It's not that bad actually, it's just a little bit windy. It's more windy on this side. Can you chill here on the edge of the lodge.
So chilling at the edge of the lodge was the first photos. I was actually trying to test out how it will look, and the results are like not so good, to be honest. I'm not super proud of these photos, but they do give that retro flash look.
And can we do one on like the front of the lodge?
So the next idea, the front of the logo, meaning we're going after the symmetric image. So right in front, obviously it looks like way more interesting in my opinion. After taking the first photo with the flash, the flash didn't fire for the next photo when I got closer. I'll be honest, I'm a natural light guy, so I do prefer that natural light looks so much better. And here is how it looks with like all the different presets from my Magic Cadabra preset pack. And here is how it looks with a free preset that you can download via the link in the description. I decided to stay on the course and shoot more photos with the flash. So this is how it actually looks. And I'm happy with the look. It does give that interesting vibe. I do like the composition, like the symmetric composition. As you can see, I got closer and I was framing slightly up to get the more interesting look. I did turn off the flash for a couple more, like let's say this walking shot, and also I needed that flash to recharge because the batteries were just so low. And then
we're here. It's working.
Yep, the camera's still working. We can continue shooting. So I decided to go for a more dramatic look. So as you can see, the sky has been like really dramatic. The clouds are dark and we have those mountains in the backdrop. So at first I went for this lower perspective, like mainly focusing on the sky, but then I went up to highlight the mountains and like everything that there is in the background. First, I'm shooting without the flash, but then staying on the course, I decided to throw in the flash, and I was so happy I did. I actually did switch my aperture to f8, so I started shooting higher f-stop to have more things in focus. And my goal here was to have that unbalanced exposure, meaning as you can see, like the background is way darker than the foreground that is hit by a flash. And like I really love that result. That image is one of my favorites from this shoot.
Okay, this is it.
As I said, you can download the free preset down below, but here I just want to show you so you understand how to create a look like this from scratch in Lightroom. But before we dive deep into the Lightroom, I want to invite you to come with me to Iceland. In November, I'm hosting, it's a kind of magic retreat, which is 4 nights in a most luxurious lodge I found. We're gonna have 2 days of shooting couple, 1 day of exploring Iceland, and a tons of master classes and occasions to learn from me on a one-on-one basis. This is a small group, intimate setting, and we're gonna have a blast. I have 2 single bed seats remaining. Also, I have options if you want to have a private room or share a room with a friend, you'll get a discount. And also there's a special discount for my YouTube subscribers. You can check the link in the description. And I want to see you in Iceland in November with me. Back to Lightroom. So actually all you need to do, so this is a raw image, all you need to do is to understand the tone curves. So now let's open the tone curves, and just a quick intro on tone curves. So actually what you see on that little software. It's called histogram, and it's the distribution of the pixels, of the dark pixels and of the bright pixels. So from the left, this mountain on the left is all the dark pixels in the image. In the middle, you can see the mid-range, the mid-tones of the image, and on the right part of the histogram, you can see the bright portions, the bright pixels of the image. And like knowing the curves, you can actually manipulate the image like however you want. So let's say you want to add some more contrast. Adding a contrast would mean making your dark pixels even darker. So all you need to do is just like hold that left bottom point of your curve, and if you start moving it towards the right, you're gonna make more pixels actually black. So like not only black pixels are going to be black, but like all the dark pixels are becoming darker and darker and darker. That adds a lot of contrast. You're like darkening the dark portions of the frame this way. The other side of the curve is the white point, and you can actually do exactly the same. You can make all the bright portions of the image white and even brighter. This is, I feel like, less useful. Like often we're going after just darkening the blacks to make the image more contrasty. And what we want to do here with that particular image is go to the green channel of the tone curve. The green channel is responsible for the balance between the magenta and the green color. And by moving this point, left bottom corner, towards the center, you're making the dark pixels of your image more magenta. You're balancing them more towards the magenta. If you want to do the same thing, but you want to make this image like more green looking in the shadows, you can just move it up. And you can see we're doing exactly the same. Now we're balancing the dark portion of the frame towards the green. So for this particular look that I'm going here, like the only thing we need to do is to add that magenta in the shadow, like just a little bit of the magenta just in the shadow. That's why I'm adding the point in the middle, because I don't want to ruin the highlights. I don't want to ruin the midtones. I only want to add the magenta in the dark portions of the frame. And here I'm gonna go just to the main tone curve to add a slightly wash out look. So I'm gonna be making my blacks less black, so that creates this faded look in Lightroom. So we're going here, we're gonna add the point in the middle once again, because I don't want to ruin the midtones, I don't want to ruin the highlights. I only want to make the black more faded, and this gives this like analog, old school, retro look. To finish off this look, I might add a little bit of contrast, and then I would add a grain on top of that image, and that is a recipe for this kind of a retro looking photo. Again, you can download this preset for free. The link is in the description, but I wanted you to know how to make it yourself, how to use the tone curves, and I highly encourage playing out with tone curve, because that can lead you to really interesting results.
Thanks so much for watching this video. It was definitely much harder than I thought it's gonna be. Check out the results. I love it. I love the the retro look with that flash look. The biggest problem with the workflow was that it was just slowing me down. The cycle time is crazy. Obviously, then in a scenario like this, when it's cold, when it's windy, when you want to do things fast, having camera and equipment basically that is just slowing you down, not ideal, but still, I love the results. Thanks so much, and see you in the next video. Bye.